Carefree. How do you know him? You know him because he's a big deal on Getter. We're so honored to have you on Special Report. Good to see you.
It's an absolute honor to be here to see you again and to finally meet you.
Finally to meet you.
The brain behind the face. You know, that's what everybody says about you in chat.
It's
It's
true.
incredibly
That's nice.
intelligent.
No one says that about me. They just say it about you. No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
It's so nice to have you in studio, Carefree.
Thank you.
And
It's an honor to be
watching
here.
and having you here with us.
No better place to be. I never miss this show. On the odd chance that something drags me away, I always go back to the app and watch it later, which is something that anybody can do. And I suggest, everybody give that a chance. But I always try to catch you live because it's always the better way to watch you.
Yeah, and you are on other social media platforms with us. I know you're always sending stuff on Instagram as well. And, we encourage those of you watching, when we say like you're a part of our RAV family, you're a part of our RAV family.
Yes.
We're not up here on our high horse like telling you what to think and how you should think. We want you to feel like you're a part of it because we really look at it like an honor. So we are honored.
Well, having people like me in here on your set is going to lead to a lot of questions from a lot of people.
Good ones, I hope. Good ones, I hope. Well, we're glad you're here, and it's been a while. So I know I saw you in the Villages of Florida when we were there. I know you were on the morning show and at the AMAC boot camp. So you're awesome.
Oh, it's
so
great to have
we're going
us.
to have you join in on the conversation.
Well, Carefree, I'd love to get your opinion on this next one because speaking of our shrinking bank accounts, recent polls have shown that only 36% of U.S. voters believe the American dream is still possible. Half say the system is stacked against them. Another study showed that the American dream costs $1 million more than the average person makes in a lifetime, thanks to Bidenomics. Well, a shocking revelation from Forbes' most recent billionaires list further justifies this dip in American morale. It turns out none of those who made Forbes' list of billionaires under 30 this year are self-made for the first time in 15 years. Gosh, that's so disheartening. 18 of the 25 youngest on the list inherited their wealth. And the magazine says this is due to the fact that people under 30 just aren't generating the same kind of wealth as their predecessors. Forbes says that the hefty inheritances, up to $5 billion per person under 30, are the start of a, quote, long-anticipated generational wealth transfer, where trillions are expected to change hands every year as the affluent elderly pass away and leave their fortunes to their lower-income descendants. Carefree, your reaction, I mean, I'd like to be one of those descendants, but it shows where we're at with Bidenomics.
Wouldn't we all? Wouldn't we all, Michelle?
Yeah, maybe we should do a DNA test here, see if there's anything down the line.
Yeah.
I would be all for that. I'm certainly not one of the people that are going to inherit that kind of wealth. And while I'm here speaking to my son, neither are you. So
Hate to disappoint.
Wow.
work hard.
He's like, thanks, Special Report. Really appreciate that. You've been written out.
Really crushing the ball
But it's
there.
so sad about the economy, though. Just overall, going back to that list that we were talking about, prices, everything's up. How are you feeling? And how do you feel when you have someone like Janet Yellen or Biden saying, they know it's all good?
Yeah.
It's all...
Just driving down here from Ocala, I had to stop and fill up the old car with gas like everybody does. They talk about inflation is not what it used to be, that things are better, than they were just a few months ago. But I just paid $4.40 a gallon for gas.
Wow.
That's not a good sign.
No.
Is that how high it is up in Ocala, Florida?
For premium, it's a
Yeah.
little bit less than that for the others, but I always
Okay.
put premium in the car and get a little better gas mileage that way. And you have to look at it a couple of different ways, but yes, it's that high. And whenever the fuel prices are that high, your government's making a fortune. The taxes are excise taxes. They're based on how much it sells for, not how much it sells. So when you have these exorbitant costs, like the government is bringing in tons of money. It's what they do with the money that puts everyone else, from us to younger generations, in a position where you can't afford that new house, you can't afford that new car. I saw today where used cars have gone up somewhere a little bit under 30%. Used cars. When you factor that in against the cost of a new car, or God forbid an electric car, which is kind of
I
a
need
paperweight. You know, you really don't want that.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's really hard to see a path forward for the younger people today. And
Path forward for anybody
Yeah.
today, though.
Yeah.
that's
It's
part of that
affecting everybody.
transition, though. That's
Yeah.
that transition that
Yep.
Marxism talked about between socialism and communism.
Do you think that
Yeah.
the rising prices too in gas is Biden's push towards EVs?
Yes.
He wants us to not
I
have
think it's
gas-
twofold.
Yeah.
I think it's twofold. A, he wants to push that industry more to China because they are the ones that are going to take the raw minerals
Absolutely.
and produce the vehicles, until they found out a couple of months ago that there's more lithium in the United States than anywhere else in the world. They didn't know that about 6 months ago, but they know it now. So that's going to change that dynamic quite a bit. The other part of it is that when you have a country like China that is very, very focused on dominating, taking over a country like the United States, do you really think they want you pumping all of your natural resources out of the ground? No. They want that
Yeah.
there for when they come in. So it's a twofold thing. It's a two-step thing. First, they got to break you. Once they break you, then they're going to put you to work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good points, Carefree. Yeah, this is Carolyn Ryan. Good to have you and good to see you again. I want to change gears real quick, if we can, the time that we have remaining. A landmark 15-year study has confirmed that most gender-confused kids eventually grow out of that feeling by the time they are fully grown adults. A report from the Daily Mail confirmed the study results show that, quote, being trans is usually just a phase for kids, and researchers tracked kids from age 11 to 25. At age 11, nearly 1 in 10 children reported being unhappy with their gender, but by age 25, only 1 in 25 reported sometimes having that same feeling. For the most part, it completely faded away. So we've heard so much about all this whole transgender just kind of overtaking our culture. Carefree, what are your thoughts on where all this stands? This is just madness.
I think you can't join the military until you're 17, 18 years old without your parents' consent. I think you can't vote for the President of the United States or to vote to change any of these laws until you are of a certain age. Why in the world would you give somebody the right to go in and change themselves physically in a way that cannot be undone, both mentally and physically,
Yep.
and destroy that person's trajectory for the rest of their life? You're not just
Yeah.
stopping them, you're stopping the generation
Yeah.
that they
You
would
are.
have brought to this country. And
Yes.
there's absolutely nothing more sad than that.
Sterilizing